Rishi is a little bit like Boris now, isn't he? It's just endless optimism, spending lots and lots of money and not really worrying about borrowing too much. Is that the kind of responsible economics we expect to see from a Conservative Chancellor?
Well, I think, Nigel, all budgets need to be put in the economic context in which they're occurring. And having had a deep pandemic that has hit the economy very hard, I thought he basically took the right stance today. The economy is improving, public finances have turned the corner, borrowing is clearly on the downward trend. That being said, as he said halfway through his budget speech, he talked about the fact that you need to judge people and chancellors by what they do, not just by what they say. And I think that's the key challenge. To actually build on this budget, the key issue now and the key question for the government is that they now need to deliver on a supply side agenda driven by the private sector and taking the burden off small businesses. So the good news is the economy has turned the corner. The good news is that he did actually increase departmental spending, thus avoiding the austerity, not just of George Osborne, but actually many of these departments didn't receive the spending they should have received when Gordon Brown and others, I think, were in power. So certainly the Osborne austerity is now no longer a policy option. But what we basically have here is that the Chancellor has to decide what to do. He's decided to borrow, he's decided to tax, he's decided to also spend. What we now really need to have is stronger, sustained economic growth. And you were talking about, Liam, growth this year and next year will be strong. The key challenge is what happens thereafter. Because even though the OBR, the independent forecasters, are optimistic for the next 24 months, they're pretty cautious, I would argue, about what happens thereafter.
I saw those